Yeah, Sinclair with Spider Burton's in there. Looks like a Rawlings and also Adam Simpson.
So both sides coming in, having lost the last 2 games. The Kangaroos and Collingwood, and we're ready and away we go with Fraser getting the first tap. The Kangaroos with the first chance to go into attack. Kinnear under pressure.
Good play.
O'Brien always felt that he had the situation in hand. Davis. Low kick. Very tough one. Rawlings. And that's a good mark taken by Kinnear, who's had that role, Gerard, of running around the ground, if you like, as the extra ruckman, with Fraser pushing forward quite a bit. Yeah, he's done it pretty well, and I think Shane Wakeland did it a couple of weeks ago against the Bombers, but it's been Kinnear's, and he's finding a niche. His last month of footy, last 6 weeks, from what I've seen, has been pretty good.
And boys, the new boy, young Mark Hilton, playing on Chris Tarrant, and David King picking up the speed start. Leon Davis as well. A bit of pace between those two.
Free kick came back to Collingwood, but once again the ball over the line and out of bounds.
Shane Wakeland's up in the goal square, and he's dragged Sav Rocker all the way up there.
But it's a very tall forward line for the Pies, with Tucky into the team as well, along with Tarrant and Rocker, and Fraser pushing forward. And as you said, Wakeland Davis, quick shot at goal once again. We'll see a throw in. So they're trying to stretch the Kangaroos' defence with all those talls playing. I guess a chance for them to look at Tucky, Gerard, with all this being analysed.
Yep. And a chance for Tucky to show what he's got.
Burns trying to get through. Davis does get through.
Oh, he's a genius.
Oh, great stuff, Leon Davis.
Well, he just swooped on that one, Plugger, and he's got off to a fly.
He is an incredible player to watch. He really adds another level of excitement to this Collingwood forward line. And look, he presents himself. He does everything right. He gets to the foot of packs, and he works pretty hard. And just one of those special goals that only Leon Davis could kick there. So let's hope that he's in for a big afternoon. Been a long run back to the forward line for Sav Rocker too. It'll be interesting to see whether Wakeling keeps that ploy up for most of the day, working big Sav up into the defence.
Hey, Plugger, what was the furthest you ran down the field?
Mate, I didn't get that far on my holidays, Dipper.
I saw you going to the ruck. I think it was in Rodney Eade's first match as coach when you got belted by the Adelaide Crows. You finished up in the ruck?
Oh, yeah, it's a long time ago now, Gerard. I remember spending one day over at Fremantle there, and player O'Reilly, he ran me up and down that ground. I don't know how many times I went up and down that wing that day.
Looks like Jared Malloy's starting up in defence. Down in defence, as the lingo has it.
Yeah, well, that's, I guess, with Tucky playing, they've gone with Malloy in defence. Tarrant pushing up the ground. Did well to release the handball and opens it up for Brodie Holland. Davis, we know, is a goal kicker. Just a fraction too far out. It wasn't great delivery, to be honest, into attack. And Blakey using Clayton on the way out. Had it spent. Harvey, another one who's a contender for All-Australian honours. Makepeace. Good strong grab.
And Glenn Archer's had a great year for Collingwood, for the Kangaroos, and he's picked up Chris Tarrant.
We went forward last week, but I guess they all needed back in defence. Lucuria, it took far too long, and he's gone, holding the ball. One
of the great assets of Byron Pickett is his defensive work on the forward line. And if they get a goal out of this, it should go down as an assist to Byron Pickett. Doesn't kick as many as the top line small forwards, but he does more work at ground level.
Although in fairness, he did play the first 6 or 7 games in defence, didn't he? So I guess his goal tally's not going to be quite as high. Lucuria clearing.
Nice kick.
Clement. Got Buckley on the wing. Tucky pushing up to present himself. Wasn't a great kick, and Tucky having to work hard, but not able to get there.
Well, no wonder. He looks like he's borrowed Len Thompson's shorts. They are the Bombay Bloomers.
They are big, aren't they? And Teague on the Kangaroos bench with Stuart Cochrane. Spider, Burton going against Fraser. Curia and Harvey waiting at the back. Buckley running onto it. Looking ahead, not much movement, so he bombs for Tucky versus Hilton. Oh, that's a good mark. David King. But he's on Leon Davis at this stage, using Blakey as the Kangaroos branching out again. Didn't go to Clayton that time. Went to Motlop instead through the middle of the ground. Showed very good awareness to be able to get through. Fraser, spoil the late spoil. Could have been a free. It was, in fact. Advantage paid. Now Burns receiving initially from Malloy. Now Rocker. Again, one-out battle down there. He almost took it. Not paid to Tucky. Holland swooping, just a little bit offline and a behind.
A bit unlucky not to be awarded a mark in that contest there.
You mentioned Hilton picking up Tarrant, Gerrity. Sorry, he did start on Tarrant. Now he's picking up Tucky. So the change was made very quickly with Archer onto Tarrant now.
Yep.
David King at full back. Collingwood 117. The Kangaroos yet to score. And again, King going to himself. He's handballed to himself. Extraordinary. And I don't think it was quite what he had in mind. And he might have even kicked it out on the full then, did he? Or was it already out?
Well, he was going to handball it over the top, and the bloke over the top thought he'd come in for the shepherd.
Sure, David King might look back on that footage in a very happy fashion. Over the top Rocker. Burns got through again. Should be a goal. Collingwood second. Scotty Burns threads it through.
Well, good start by the Pies, Tony.
Yeah, very good start. Two quick goals, and good play from Scotty Burns. He just read it off the pack, well off the ruck contest there at the boundary throw-in, and run into an open goal. And Collingwood at this stage of the game, I know it's only early, Jared, but gee, they look fired up and ready for a big one.
Yeah, some danger signs here for the Kangaroos. They don't want to go out in a blaze of agony.
Bright start here for Collingwood at Manuka Oval as the sun comes back out. Scotty Burns.
Deborah, on the boundary line, did you detect any difference between the enthusiasm of both camps?
No, not at all, Jared. As we mentioned before the game, both sides very keen to win. As I mentioned, coming down the rooms, out of the rooms with the Kangaroo players, they were really switched on.
Fraser again gives Tucky a chance.
Got to grab them.
Just couldn't. Clement wanted to go off the ground. The desperation of John Blakey just outstanding again. Tarrant gets the 360 treatment. All Kangaroos around. Harvey, again Blakey. Already has had 3 touches as King comes out of defence. Low kick, good kick.
Brilliant kick.
And the mark taken comfortably by Makepeace. Rocker leads for him short. And now obviously he can penetrate, but he instead goes back for Makepeace. So they've controlled it well.
He played
McLaren, he did look like he played on. Then he got the benefit from the umpire, Brett Allen. Harvey in quickly. McKernan looks the man most likely. Got to work pretty hard here. Preston Giacomo bearing down. Oh, McKernan, I think he thought he was closer to the line than he was, but he managed to keep it in. And setting up a chance, McCartney's kick dropping short.
Just blazing away the Kangaroos at the moment. We see Corey McKernan on a lead there, and Brent Harvey really should have, the pass should have been a lot better than what it was. It was way too far out in front of him. And for Kangaroos, they're just going to have to finish their work off a little bit better than that.
Well, Anthony Rocker's just propped. He should have gone and made the extra yards and taken an easy chest mark.
And in response, the Kangaroos through Burton, going forward, McKernan that time.
Well, it's a bad mistake by an experienced player. Anthony Rocker's got a lead from the front now as a player that's played around the 100 games, and that's just too slack when you're coming in for that. There was no one for his teammate to kick it to. He was always going to be the option, and he had to work harder, and the message is going out to him, albeit in the disguise of a trainer with a bottle.
So Corey McKernan.
Maybe there was no message, just the bottle.
I think they might have just having another look at it.
A message in the bottle, mate.
Yeah.
Working beautifully, Dipper. 38 goals, 14 for Corey McKernan this year, and he's added a behind to that total with a pretty indifferent-looking kick.
It was good to see that McKernan taking those marks. He's been through everything this year, hasn't he, really? And over a good summer, I'd say that he'll be one of the great leaders of this club.
So Nathan Buckley with a familiar role at fullback.
Malloy
kicking out. Very low for Burns. And Malloy pushing up to the wing to be an option. He goes for him. He's got support from Kinnear at the back lane. Now they can go. Kangaroos pushing numbers back across half back. Lane looks up, told to go short, but he went long. and the direction was to go short because Tarrant had so many Kangaroos players around him, one of them McCartney and Spider Burton, so they didn't really listen to their teammates on that occasion. Collingwood and paying the penalty. Rawlings getting it in. Likewise at the other end of the ground, Collingwood have got numbers back. Josh Fraser just sorted himself out in time. Nick Davis across half-back. Goes for one-on-one. Simpson with the job on Buckley. He's a good player, Simpson. Had an excellent year. Wins another possession. Blakey just going to ground that time. It's not out. Buckley thought it was. Clement over the top. And in the end, he's probably a bit stiff, Clement. But the umpire giving the benefit of the doubt to John Blakey. Blakey taking it to ground and Clement over the top. Anywhere else on the ground, perhaps that might have been paid. Ball up very close to the line. Inevitably, it goes out. Jess Sinclair's had a reasonable year for the Kangaroos, Jared.
Well, I think it took a long while for him to settle in, Hutto. I think his future was on the line about round 12, but the message got through, and you can see there he's got a running role with Shane O'Brien. He just gets so many possessions, but there's one to his direct opponent.
Straight up and down it was. He goes again.
I think that's the definition of an ineffective kick.
Ineffective kick, yep. Clayton. And that's, well, it was a fairly effective kick. Free kick paid to Spall. Malloy not happy. Harvey trying to duck away with the ball, but Brett Allen's having nothing of it. Spall just appeared to be a little hurt.
Probably have every right to look a little hurt.
McLaren, who is a penetrating kick. He doesn't give it the full ink, and the mark taken by Fraser. I think the intention was okay, which was to set it up, but there was no one really there for it, and the Pies able to run. Freeborn boldly goes out of defence with a couple of bounces. No one to link up with. Now there is Burns. Goes in long again. He's got away this time, the big man Tucky, and once again can't take the mark. Hilton getting it onto the boot. Kinnear pursuing McCartney and playing safety, getting it across the boundary line. Well, Tucky's had a couple of chances to take grabs, Jared.
Yeah, he's had 3. They could have all been good, solid marks. He's just about done everything right, but grasped every one of them. But he's getting there. He's just got to grab one to get the confidence going.
So 2-1-13 Collingwood. The Kangaroos one behind. About midway through this opening term. Both sides have had a fair bit of the footy, but Collingwood at the moment on the scoreboard in front. You think they're in front in general play as well?
I think it's pretty even. I think both sides have had a lot of clear ball, and the thing about it, they just haven't been able to finish their the entry into the forward line. Probably both sides just needs to be picked up a little bit, especially the Kangaroos. I think their entry has been a bit disappointing.
Burton, Kinnear, Burton again getting the soccer in. Freeborn to the open spaces of half forward. And it does seem to be a tactic these days. If you can avoid kicking to the contest, if you're not sure you can hit a man, maybe just drive it down and gain some territory. Dean Laidley, whose name has also been mentioned in dispatches in terms of assistants pushing up for greater roles next year. Burton, Rocker over the top. Lucuria, Rawlings clearing, kick, Kinnear trying to run onto it. Free kick going against Kinnear. The Kangaroos, Clayton quick to take it. Ran into a bit of trouble, but managed to work it to King. Puts the head down on the bottom up, and he gets a lot of penetration on the kick. Malloy looked to be in the best position. Then Spall got there, but couldn't take the mark. That is a great looking kick. And he got a cruel bounce right when it counted.
Yeah, well, he'd done everything right there except take the mark there. And once he dropped it, he realised the second effort was there, and he snapped around the body, and he was very unlucky there that that just didn't sneak through. It just grazed the post on the inside. Still a little bit unlucky there, but I guess he really should have taken the mark in the first place.
Seemed to have the angle about right on the kick. Buckley.
He's found Leon David now. Here we go.
Nick Davis takes the mark. Leon was an option a little further up the ground. Now Malloy's it'll be 2. He's got support from Tyson Lane at the back. One needs to shepherd. They did work it out in the end, sort of, but only sort of. And as a result, we're going to get a bounce. Malloy not able to effectively shepherd. Dennis Pagan, a strange feeling for him going into September. First time for a long while that he won't have any action, both with the Kangaroos and, of course, his junior teams. Amazing coaching record. Rawlings. Makepeace. Oh, King, he had the full head of steam up, didn't he? Getting him down. McKernan just couldn't quite get there. And Malloy, you would think it would have the strength advantage on Spall. Lucuria.
King's man has just burst to the other side of the ground. He should just be able to take on McCartney and get around him.
Leon Davis, he just lost his footing, I think, at the crucial stage then. He might be in trouble. Yes, he is. Good effort from McCartney there.
Yep, excellent. Bit of a fumble by Neon, just at the inappropriate moment.
Wobbly old kick, effective though. Rocker now, he's within range from there. There's an open square. He went for home, but it got touched on the way through. Spall ran hard at the footy, went to get it and did a good job. Harvey, tight angle for him. Big Spider, should get there. He did! Oh. Third bite.
Good vision from Brent Harvey just to get it out lateral and get it out in front of goal. And that'll give Burton a chance. Kicking from about 40 metres directly in front. And certainly one the Kangaroos need.
Well, he's featured in a few spectacular highlights this year, Spider. I think he got around about 5 players the other week against Geelong out on the half-forward flank. I'm not sure Dennis was that impressed, mind you, but the big Spider is always entertaining. And now he needs to kick a goal. He's kicked 6 for the year. And that's clapped through for goal number 7 to Spider Burton. Kangaroos first takes them to 1-2-8 and Collingwood a 2-1-13.
Well, it came against the flow of play somewhat, although the Kangaroos have had plenty of possession in the last 4 or 5 minutes. But Spall has got plenty of footy in this opening term. And a good centering kick. Spider just put out a couple of his hands and legs and did it all.
Statistically, at least, the Kangaroos have had more of the footy with 8 more kicks and 3 more handballs at this stage. And now they've almost caught them on the board. 5 points behind. Harvey getting them moving again. A good sign when the likes of Harvey and King are getting plenty of the footy. Clayton swooping, but just the initial fumble let him down. Davis had some support out the back. Wakeland suddenly knew that he was getting himself into trouble. Got out of it pretty well. Malloy had a couple of options, uses one of them with an excellent kick. O'Brien.
He's going to have to wait for an option because nothing obvious.
No, nothing obvious, and it was a 2-on-2.
Better work from Rocker. Really made a point to get into the space, to give someone an option.
He worked hard for it. Tucky, again a fumble. So at the moment, his ball handling just not quite what he would like it to be. O'Brien sitting down for a rest. So far, he's had just the 1 kick and 1 handball.
And Scotland now on for O'Brien, boys.
Scotland's another one they'll be looking at. Hasn't had a lot of match time this year. Just his 2nd game, in fact, in the seniors.
And with Davis being picked up by King, they've pushed Davis to the goal square to get King away from the ball, but he's in front again.
He is. Lucuria in an unusual situation up forward. Buckley was snookered, but he got out of it magnificently. And poor old Heath Scotland has missed a golden opportunity.
Well, he didn't steady, Tony. He had plenty of time.
He had plenty of time. Probably not enough talk there from the Collingwood forwards, but what great play from Nathan Buckley just to keep that ball in play. Flicked the handball off there to Scotland, and he could have really run into an open goal and just tapped it over the line there, but obviously just a little bit rushed, and that's what happens when you rush it. He's pulled it straight across the front of goal, and only a point results.
Adam Simpson.
Did you have a look at Barry Hall last night, Tony?
Didn't see much of the game at all, but I just seen the highlights at the end there where he took the mark and kicked the goal after the siren. So the St Kilda boys thought it was a grand final, didn't they? They were really excited, and good on them too. Good way to finish the year.
Yep.
Wakeland to half forward on the bounce. Good delivery that time, and Brodie Holland takes the mark. Nick Davis standing in the goal square. Buckley makes a lead 20 metres on.
Any wind at all, Dipper?
Yeah, just a swirly breeze, Gerard, but it's favouring, if there is any advantage, it'd be favouring Collingwood, but 1 goal of inning.
Well, Brodie Holland's had quite an impact this year. He's kicked 25 goals. He's been good early in matches and also late. And that is a great kick.
He used the win then, didn't he?
Well, whatever he used, it was magnificent.
Well, it never looked really good off the boot, Jared. It was a real floating punt kick, but it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it gets the result, and that's certainly what it did. You can see here on the replay that it's wobbled everywhere.
Yeah.
But it wobbled straight. That's the main thing.
Well, Brody, right until the last second, was going to pass that ball. In the end, he did, well, what the heck, let's have a crack at it.
And that restores Collingwood's 2-goal advantage.
Bit of synchronised swimming
Yeah.
on the boundary line there.
Watching the action in Brisbane, I guess. Out of the middle, Kinnear over the top.
It's been a bit, hasn't it?
I'm not sure, actually. I haven't seen too much of it. I think we can say that safely. Lucuria gets it up forward, coming out of defence, Archer. Blakey streaming through centre half back. And that's a good grab in front for Corey McKernan. Now, if he really had a crack, it would have to be a big crack. He doesn't. Sets it up instead. Byron Pickett off Freeborn. Got the hands in there, and Malloy takes it across the line.
Great spoil there by Glenn Freeborn. Pickett did everything right, had the ball, and the former Kangaroos premiership player just smacked it out of his hands.
3-2-20 Collingwood. Kangaroos are 1-2-8. Quick snap. Makepeace just didn't like it off the boot. You can see why. So we've gone about just over 20 minutes in this opening term from Manuka Oval. Close to a full house. We know it was sold out. I think around 14 or 15,000 people. And it could have been such a spectacular climax to the year at one stage 4 or 5 weeks ago, Jared. We thought the winner of this game might make the finals.
There's all the talk at Parliament House this morning, Dipper.
Certainly was, Jared. Sorry, mate. Just lost my microphone there. Yeah, John did say it was a bit disappointed the boys didn't make the finals, but he'll look out of next year to see if they can play up here for a right to play in the final.
Did you have any advice for him, Dipper?
Yeah, I just said, get on with the job, son. and you're doing a good job too.
Buckley takes it over the line. Buckley's had 5 possessions so far, 2 kicks and 3 handballs. 5 minutes remaining in the opening turn. Burton getting the tap. Rocker misses the target. Simpson rarely does. Now Brady Rawlings. Should lob it in the square just about. Rocker pushing back against Wakeland. Got good support from Malloy. Good strong stuff. And it's ball wrapped up. Bounce the only option. I guess Mick Moldhouse just throwing Malloy back. He's obviously quite familiar to playing there in earlier parts of his career, Jared.
Well, I think he'd be looking with a view of Malloy for next year just to see how he's going back there. Look out.
Oh, watch out. Byron Pickett. If anyone can get out of tackles, he can. Unfortunately, he couldn't keep his team in control of the ball.
He spent a bit of time at fullback when he was playing with Fitzroy, didn't he? Jared Malloy, but been a great contributor for Collingwood this year on the forward line, and he's been a real find for him.
It could have been a high tackle. That was Clayton who caught one over the shoulder. Lots of Collingwood players around the ball. Makepeace almost able to get an effective possession, but not quite. And once again, congestion.
Well, dangerous position here for the Pies. They'd be well advised, I'm sure, to just try and get the ball across the line and get a kick out.
And McKernan gave Pickett the chance. And how's that for teamwork?
Well, that was outstanding, Tony.
Yeah, look, I think that's call it a set play, call it what you like, Jared, but I'm sure McKernan had told Byron Pickett, that's where I'm going to hit it. You just make sure you get there, son. And great play from the 2 Kangaroos players because it's resulted in a goal. And that's certainly what Collingwood, they wouldn't have wanted that this close to quarter time.
So we're getting close to quarter time here at Manuka Oval. 3-2-20 Collingwood, 2-2-14 the Kangaroos. Oh, Spider fell over.
Well, it's disastrous having a turf wicket in the middle of a footy ground. Fortunately, the MCG hasn't got one anymore, but there's one here today.
And nowhere to go out of the middle, the Pies, or the Roos for that matter. Kinnear still scrapping for it. But Byron Pickett clean out of the middle. Harvey.
He's played on.
He also can get onto it when he gets a long kick in. McKernan, Prestigiacomo, Malloy. And they've managed to control it. Malloy. Blakey actually got spoiled for the mark by Burton. Brodie Holland swooping, and now he can get away.
All the way.
He can go to 50. We know he can make the distance from there. Doesn't have a shot, or does have a shot. And maybe that time the distance was too much, although it did carry, it was offline. 3-3 plays 2-2.
He had Brent Tuckey on the lead, which probably would have been a better option. But
well, here's the run. Everybody's leading up the ground, and in essence, he was left stranded. There was no one really to pass it to, and I think they needed someone leading backwards into that space behind, into the goal square. If you can take a mark running at the goal, generally they always result in a conversion.
David King, he's had an interesting time from his kick-ins. Obviously awake to the fact that he likes to do that, but that one is just too wide.
Collingwood forwards need to get out and
that shouldn't be a free kick.
Oh, no, he
was that on the full?
Out on the full, yeah,
it
was out on the full.
Yeah.
Through the middle of the ground, Freeborn loops it inside. Clement had to be fairly quick with the kick. We know he kicks them high, and that was just inaccurate. 3-4 to 2-2. And David Teague. Brent Harvey, as we said, already done a power of work, coming up for, well, he's had 7 possessions. I guess the one from fullback doesn't count. Adam Simpson.
It's good when you can get the 1-2, though.
Yeah, that's very handy for the stats. Through centre half back.
You nearly get again here.
Sinclair, there's 3 in a minute. Rocker out-bodied that time by Wakelin, who didn't complete it with a mark. Burton's hands were great. Spall just bombs away. Going to need a lot of bounce on the footy. Prestigiacomo.
That was a shocking bounce.
Back within 2 points.
Take us through that, Tony.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't know. I would love that to happen, you know, while I was playing, but I can't recall getting a bounce like that, Jared. But the Collingwood defender done everything that he possibly could. But that's the shape of the ball, and it's prone to do things like that. So that is just the luck of the draw, Jared.
Yes, didn't look any kinder on the replay for Simon Prestigiacomo.
Do we have a top 10 bad bounces of the year award?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That'd certainly be up there. Suddenly the Kangaroos have got a chance to get in front. They trail by 2. There's 2 minutes remaining, and good delivery into the forward line. McKernan spilt the sitter. Prestigiacomo wrapped him up. Well, good persistence by McKernan to get the kick away. Puts them in the dangerous spot. Byron Pickett's pushed back to the goal square. Harvey might get it to him. Here's another one for them. Bang, and they're in front.
Just noticing Corey McKernan had his hand up in the air. I think he was signalling to the bench. He knew he'd made it blue, maybe just the fact that he dropped the mark, but he got out of it, and they ended up getting a goal on him.
Certainly made some hard work, Evan. That's a few times this quarter already, Jared. We've seen easy marks being dropped, and there was really no excuse to, of Corey McKernan to drop a mark like that.
That man, Brent Harvey, again, 10 possessions now.
Well, the Magpies have started well, but you've got to admire the way the Kangaroos have come back. They've been the most dominant side since about the 10-minute mark.
Under 2 minutes remaining, and the Kangaroos in front for the first time. 4-2 to 3-4. Rocker, Buckley, who hasn't seen too much of the footy. That's his 6th possession. Rawlings out wide. It opens up a bit if McLaren takes the mark. He just couldn't. Kinnear trying to push him aside. Good body work by McLaren. Wakelin just got run down by Sav, who had a fair bit of momentum up. Worked hard for it, Rocker, trying to get a free. Wakelin able to wrap it up. Eventually it does come out. There's a whistle. It's a Kangaroos ball. Coming back to Joe McLaren, who is a mighty good kick. He sets this one up. Big Spider's got the height, but the judgment with Paul Licuri on that occasion. So Collingwood looking to run. They've got about a minute to try and score here. Tough for Holland, because there's not much further up the ground at this stage. Tucky doubles back, uses Malloy, who played on immediately without even looking what was ahead, and there was nothing ahead except John Blakey. And so now the Kangaroos get a chance. Big Spider, Malloy, crunch. Judgment was excellent. So he's got a bit of the ball coming off halfback. 6 possessions for Jared Malloy. Scotland's kick to Hufford. Nick Davis with the run. Play on, said the umpire. Didn't pay the mark. Davis didn't know, but he recovered well. 20 seconds, looking for a mark, looking for a goal from Nick Davis. What a roost, what a bomb!
Well, that was an unbelievable kick, Jared. I've seen some good kicks in me day, but that's got to be up there with the best. And that's a three-step barrel from 60 metres.
Well, they're putting too fine a point on it. That was Blight-esque. That has just kept going and going. Let's see where he kicks it from. He's 57 or 8, nearly 60 metres out. And it's gone 65, 67 metres, and have a look at the reaction of Eddie Maguire in the crowd. He's pretty happy with that.
He is very happy, and so he should be. That was a great goal.
And just down the road from Eddie, boys, is Craig Davis, Nick's father. Everyone was looking at him. Well done, he said.
Out of the middle, Buckley. Can he kick a goal from there? Not quite. Just a little bit too far. There's still a chance. Oh, Davis! Cruelled by the siren. Missed anyway, although it probably did affect the shot. So, a bit of entertainment to finish off the quarter. No score there, says umpire Schmidt. And we go to quarter time, Jared, with an entertaining opening term, Collingwood ahead.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many better kicks than that one from Nick Davis. A good way to finish, a good highlight. Leon's also provided us with some entertainment. But the Kangaroos have fought back, and they take a 2-point deficit into the quarter time break.
Actually, it's getting a bit chilly down here, Plugger. What's going on in Sydney, mate? Are we expecting heavy rains or not?
Well, I don't know. It's all right up here, Dipper. Just a cup of tea, please. Thank you very much.
Second quarter from Manuka Oval, with Collingwood in front by 2 points. Burton giving them first use out of the middle. Brady Rawlings says they have a bit of a roll on ball today, which I'm sure he's going to enjoy. Clayton, there he is again. Attacked it well after getting the first kick out of the middle. That kick not quite so good. And Clement taking the relieving mark for the Pies. Fraser leads to the opposite side. Oh, that's so dangerous. Brent Harvey, as if he hasn't had enough of it already. Well, there's a golden opportunity for Spall.
Oh, he's missed it,
and they've made a meal of it.
Well, there's a lesson for Byron Pickett and anybody watching, that if the ball's there to be marked, you mark it. You don't try and kick it out of the middle of the air. It's like a crossbat shot. You've got a little chance of hitting it right, and that has cost them a goal, the Kangaroos.
There's no excuse for that, Jared, really is. I mean, at this day and at this level of footy, Byron Pickett really should have known what he was doing then.
Oh, well, they've got another chance here after that kick in. Now the Collingwood defence giving the Kangaroos every opportunity. Oh, that was high. No free kick.
He's in trouble.
It was pretty solid contact.
He's in trouble.
Oh, we're seeing just far too much of this in our footy at the moment, aren't we? There's head-high contact.
He's out. Goal. Just an accident, hit the hip. Bloke sliding into the packs, and
Brady Rawlings, I think.
Brady Rawlings in big trouble.
Well, it was a horrible day yesterday at Optus Oval, Plugger, where we saw Stephen Silvani and also Mark Porter go down with concussion. We've seen Tarkin Lockyer, who still hasn't played since that match against Essendon. He was sleeping 15 hours a day. He didn't wake up till midnight that night. Thankfully, no one's had any serious damage. But it's, I guess, only a matter of time. The keep seeing collisions like that?
Well, you don't like seeing it, Hutto, but unfortunately or fortunately, it's just one of those things, I guess, that that happen in a game of footy. And you know, there was nothing illegal with what the Collingwood player done. As I said, it's just one of those unfortunate things that can happen in our game of footy.
Is there something more we can do, Jared, in terms of reports and charging and so forth?
No, I don't think it's a charging, that one. I think two blokes just in a contest, one bloke protecting himself a bit better than the other. Footy was generally the object, as against yesterday's events where we saw one bloke just going the man and the other one going the ball. I think it's, you know, at some stage we've just got to accept it's a collision sport, and there are going to be some unfortunate side effects, this being one of them. But I mean, players, you've got to learn, if you're going to go slide in for a ball, you've got to protect your head. And you saw Glenn Freeborn doing it pretty well. He turned his backside into where the potential risk was going to come from, and unfortunately Rawlings has come off second best, and it's always a worry. His mum and dad would be sitting at home in Melbourne, I suspect, and be very distraught about it.
But he made a good start too, Brody Rawlings. Had 9 kicks and 2 handballs. Enjoying getting a bit of an opportunity to run through the midfield.
Well, it always is an unfortunate sight to see one of your teammates carried off on a stretcher like that. It'll be interesting now to see how the Kangaroos go about their job. They've got to, I guess, reevaluate the situation now and get on with the task of playing footy and getting some goals on the board. But certainly is an unfortunate part of our game, and it's not one of the most favourable things you can do is watch a teammate get carried from the ground. Let's hope he's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's watch on now. We're just about ready for a restart.
I think the key, Hutto, is though that the tribunal and the umpires have got to come out and say they're going to protect the player going for the ball, and anybody that steps outside of that, well, they've got to pay the penalty. And whether or not that was outside the rules, I'd have to have another few looks at the replay, but it didn't look as if the intention was anything else other than get the footing.
Harvey got there first that time. Burton made sure it got over the boundary line.
And sadly, there are times where it's very difficult to interpret the decisions of the tribunal as to whether or not they're prepared to protect the bloke going the footy. You are allowed to knock blokes over, you're allowed to put body on body. It's a pretty tough and grey area.
The head's the area, though, we have to protect, isn't it? Makepeace. Simpson. Harvey again. That's his 12th possession. And it gives a chance now for Rocker. Byron Pickett scooting onto it. It opens up for Clayton. Should be a goal for the Kangaroos. Having to go back before he could go forward. Makepeace off the left. Dropping short. And Freeborn takes the mark in front of Byron Pickett.
Not sure about you, Tony. Right at the moment, there just looks to be one or two more Kangaroos players that are desperate for the footy than Collingwood.
Yeah, well, the likes of Brent Harvey's really, I mean, he's working incredibly hard, and he's setting a lot of play up for the Kangaroos, and he'll have to continue to do that all day if they're going to win. But just you know, the efforts for Collingwood getting into, you know, over the half-forward line and getting into their 50 are a little bit disappointing at this stage. They're just wasting a lot of ball.
Lucuria forced to go for a long kick to a contest. And the Roos winning those contests around the pack at the moment. Steinfort tries to change that. Rocker through the middle. Scotland took them on. Good play. Got that in quickly, which is what they needed to do. Holland, got through. Outstanding play from Brodie Holland. Deserved a goal and got it. So a couple of great individual efforts from Davis. And then that one there from Brodie Holland have given Collingwood their advantage.
Kicked a couple of good goals, Brodie Holland, and just in that instance there he got loose, broke free from his man, and at the end turned out a pretty good kick for goal, Jared.
Yeah, no, excellent conversion, and I think individual efforts is probably what I was trying to say, Hutto. Plenty of individuals working inside their area, but not outside their area.
So it's 5-4 to 4-3 now at Manuka Oval. Early stages of this second quarter.
Good bounce.
I guess that's one advantage of having a cricket pitch in the middle, isn't it? It gives them a nice hard area to bounce on.
Jared, if it was your decision with a player like Chris Tarrant, where would you be playing him? Would you be playing him up on half forward, flank, centre forward, or back in the goal square?
Well, I think he's best when he gets close enough to get the footy and shoot a goal. So you'd want him working out of the goal square. Preferably he's in a rotation. He has been all year, but he's always most dangerous when he can get in the goal square.
What's on down here, boys? Archer and Polakila, yeah.
Player's got to come back. It's a free kick to the Kangaroos. Cochrane did kick a goal, but I think it's going to come back, so no advantage paid.
Glenn Archer, of course, named in the Kangaroos Team of the Century on Thursday night, which was a great honour for him, I'm sure, and I guess justifiable reward for the efforts he put in for his club.
Yeah, well, he is a genuine hard nut, isn't he, Jared? And been a great defender for the Kangaroos over many years and thoroughly deserves his place in the Team of the Century.
Troy Makepeace.
You just go back and kick a torp from here, don't you? Nick Davis has already shown him the way.
Dipper said earlier, if there is any wind, it favours the end that Makepeace is kicking to, and certainly it carried okay. There was no problems about that. The accuracy of the thing that was missing. So one goal the difference. 5-4 Collingwood, 4-4 the Kangaroos, as Jukovic, who was one of the late changes in the Collingwood team, coming in along with Tucky into this lineup.
This has been a problem for them, the kick-ins. Clement's such a huge kick. He's got to find a target somewhere.
Goes for the outer side. Didn't quite put full weight on the kick, but he got his man, Kinnear, who was off and running straight away. Then suddenly realised he had nowhere to go. Malloy pushes up for him. Might have been moved up forward, Malloy, at this stage. Couldn't take the mark. He's going to get a free. Bit of a soft one.
Yeah, Ray did start this quarter half forward, and Glenn Archer was picking him up. So we're interested to see if these two boys match up against each other.
Pretty black behind the Kangaroos' goal, Dipper.
Yeah, it's getting dark, Jared.
There's snow in them there clouds.
This is where they need to get the ball in quickly. Leon Davis, one out in the square there.
Tried to go for Tarrant, but he made the big mistake of trying to kick over the head of Spider Burton. Not too many people have been able to do that over the years. Big Spider putting up one of the tentacles. I don't think spiders have tentacles, do they? I'm not sure.
They do now.
They're up on the wing.
I'm glad it wasn't Jack Dyer saying that.
Yes, that's right. Sinclair up to the wing with his kick. Fly from Freeborn, didn't go for the mark because Clement had it all under control. Rockers at centre half forward calling for the ball. No one on him at the moment. But he goes short to find Buckley. Buckley's had 9 possessions, coming in for his 6th kick. All players on the ground are in front or equal with Nathan Buckley. So as a result of that, there's not much space. He went for Fraser. And the ball out of bounds. Collingwood in front here, but you sort of wonder how a little bit.
They really look like they're lacking direction going into the forward line here. Picking bad options, and just on that case, Nathan Buckley doesn't waste too many, Jared, but on that occasion you would have to say that was a wasted ball.
Yeah, his last couple of kicks have been a bit errant.
Pushing them wide though, the Kangaroos, and I guess it's a good ploy by them. They're they're not giving Collingwood any free space up the middle of the ground in the corridor, and forcing them wide, and in that way they're forcing errors.
Brodie Holland went for the ruck in the end that time, and he roved it as well. Gave an opportunity for Scotland. Holland, Buckley, Steinfort, Scotland from a standing start. He got a bit on it. Tucky's got the run, and he had the ride as well. Rocker in front. Holland, Rocker, impossible angle, and so it proves. Out on the full.
Fair bonus for the people living in the house in the forward pocket there. They just get to sit in their lounge room.
Oh, they're almost behind the wicket too, and there's cricket played, so they've got a great view.
Free kick coming to Anthony Rocker by the looks. And he's have no problems kicking the distance.
Well, they're in front by a goal at the moment, the Pies. He's not having a shot. He goes for a pass.
Good option.
Well, Nick Davis, we saw what he can do in front of goal. Cochrane was right on him, wasn't he? But good, strong, quick lead.
Yeah, you almost need somebody to be just in the space. Impossible to stop those if the kick's accurate, as it was.
So Davis to try and extend Collingwood's lead to 2 goals. Almost at the midway stage of the second quarter. Davis kicked a great one in the first quarter and hits the post this time.
Well, that's the square up. The footballing god saying, we let you have one earlier, just tease you this time.
Big kick in from Sav Rocker, straight down the middle. McCartney had one crack at it. His second one, he found some competition. Big Burton, Clayton, nowhere to lay it off to, so he does it all on his own and gets them forward. Spall versus Clement, King at the front, Simpson gone. Either in the back or holding the ball, neither, said the umpire. Sinclair is a penetrating kick. McLaren's got the run. Either way, it should be a goal to the Kangaroos. And McLaren will go back and make sure of it.
It just looks a far better setup up on their forward line. They haven't got one, so they're just pushing everybody up the ground. When they break with a footy, they've got somebody charging in to a Pagan's padding situation. And anybody can bob up, take a chest mark and kick a goal. I think Collingwood could just push all their forwards up the ground and leave it to Leon Davis to run into space.
McLaren makes sure of it, and it's 1 point the difference.
It just seems to be a far more effective way of kicking goals. I'm not sure what the inside 50s are at the moment, but I'd suspect that Collingwood's gone in there 50 a fair bit more in this quarter than the opposition.
Well, I think any forward will tell you, Jared, it's a lot more comfortable and a lot more productive if there's room for the forwards to work in. Yep. So Kangaroos doing that, and Collingwood at this stage just struggling to come to grips with the space.
Some of the threatening weather that Jared and Dipper were referring to before. Behind the goals is actually a rainbow has emerged.
Dipper's gone. He's looking for the pot.
Yes. There was a good follow-up line to that one, wasn't there? Out of the middle of the ground. Burton got the tap. Oh, Scotland a high tackle. Advantage paid. Buckley takes the advantage, streams towards goal and passes it straight to Johnny Blakey.
Well, time and time again, this man, Johnny Blakey, he just sets everything up from the half-back line there. You see a 1-2, gets a handball and receives it again, Johnny Blakey.
Oh, somehow
Boona stalwart
he got away with that.
Defense.
Yeah, the handball wasn't great. Rintoul gets it in. Davis needs some magic at the back. Just got it to ground. Fraser just didn't have the lateral movement then, but he somehow seduced the ball and kicked it right across the face of goal. And a wide kick again, Big Spider. Let's see your skills, Spider. Not that time.
Yeah, boys, there's no pot at the end of that rainbow. And
just look down,
Look down.
Yes, good line there, boys. Scotty Burns back on the ground for Steinford.
Well, they got it in quickly then, Collingwood, and they looked their most dangerous.
McLaren over the top.
Unable to convert. Here's another chance, but that's too high.
He was ducking, but Buckley got him high. And just a little word in the ear of David King from Nathan Buckley.
And just news on Brady Rawlings. He's okay, he's conscious, he's in the rooms, and obviously won't be playing for the rest of the game, but he's sound at the moment. It's good.
Thanks, Dipper. Free kick for hanging on against Clayton, goes to Burns. Using it quickly, Wakeland got an option on the outer wing. And Scotland, I know he missed that shot for goal, but he's given them something around the ground. In fact, he's coming in for possession number 9, and he used his left foot on the bounce.
Don't try and get him out.
Oh, he did.
Don't argue.
He bounced off him. Fraser, tough against McCartney. Might have been giving him a bit of a shove, but it didn't matter. He took the mark.
Good solid grab from Fraser there. Good presence of mind there. That's a body on body with
McCartney.
in that situation, but he was equal to the task. Good, strong mark.
Not too many people have taken on Byron Pickett and lived to tell the tale, have they? But Brody Holland came back and he's still alive. Got it in quickly. So Josh Fraser going short. Well, you're going to go short to someone over there. I guess Anthony Rocker's the man to go to. Or Nick Davis.
Well, he's got to kick this from 62, Jared, doesn't he? And there wouldn't be too many players in the league that could kick this, but I guess this is one bloke that certainly could get the distance.
He was their leading goal kicker last year. 38 goals, 22 going into today. And that one is away to the left. So Rocker, one behind is his return so far. 2 marks, 7 possessions. Collingwood leading by 2. Harvey kicks in. Good spoil from Fraser. Burns, great hands. Buckley slides onto the left boot. Just
not sure what boots Buckley's got on at the moment, but he just doesn't look comfortable with his footing. His kicking is, they look like the stops, long stops, but his kicking has just been nowhere near up to his normal standard.
He's had 13 possessions. He's kicked 14 goals, 21 for the year, Nathan Buckley. Again, the Kangaroos going with the little kick to themselves and then the clearance. Sinclair, chance to run onto it now. Only Rocker to stop him. Davis just couldn't get there in time. So suddenly the Kangaroos are up to half forward. It was an open forward line. The judgment from Clement was outstanding. Has the edge there on Spall. The switch on play appeared to be on over to Freeborn at one stage, but Rocker mans him up now. He's got Scotland on the wing or at half back to go to. Now he can switch. Uses Scotland. Got Jukovic running past.
Leon Davis is just pushing over. I think he's going to be in a transfer with O'Brien.
Up to the wing. Fraser. Watch out. McLaren bearing down. He just got the kick away in time. Overrunning at Tucky. Got some treatment off the ball. Might get another chance here, Brett Tucky. I'm not sure where he was handballing to, but it gets Josh Fraser in the end. Now Wakeland, can he straighten up and kick a goal? Went for a pass instead, which was an excellent option as it turns out. Holland to kick on goal for Collingwood.
He's got magnificent skills, has Shane Wakeland, and we saw there he was able to change his mind. He was going to go long, but peripheral vision, the radar went up and he found Brody Holland once again.
The smell of a sausage being barbecued just coming up through the window in the commentary box. Half-time still 10 or 12 minutes away though, so we'll have to wait. A good atmosphere in Canberra for this match. 3 points the difference. Collingwood leading and a chance to build on it here with Brody Holland, who's kicked 2 goals 2 already today. Make that 3 goals 2 as he splits the middle emphatically.
Sausage smells all right.
Doesn't it?
Bit of steak would be better. Brody Holland, though, very good. All the spotlight on Brody Holland at the moment. That's his 3rd goal today, and he's been very dangerous up in the forward line, moving around the forward pocket up onto the half forward line. But what you do like to see is from those opportunists is goals when it counts, and that's what Brody Holland's done today.
Daniel Motlop ready to come on for the Kangaroos. I'm surprised Dipper hasn't found those sausages barbecued yet.
What's that?
6-7 to 5-4. Burton over the top. Rocker having a run in the ruck now. This is Clayton. Wobbly old kick. Prestigiacomo managed to keep his footing and get the handball away. Jukovic working deep in defence. In the end, the kick's okay. Freeborn taking the mark. It's got Scotland on as a switch, but it'll be a dangerous kick, so he doesn't take that option. Kangaroos have manned up and zoned up pretty well here.
He's really got to try and switch it here. He just can't kick down the lines here. And
well, he did, and that's what happened. He missed his target. And Spall just didn't get an opportunity.
Kangaroos will let Collingwood do that all day. Yep. Just play around the boundary line. There's no future, and you've got to switch the play, get it back into the middle, and open your forward line up and get some chances going.
6-7 to 5-4 at Manuka Oval. About 10 minutes remaining in this second quarter. Simpson. Oh, that was an interesting handball.
That's a throw.
Not paid. Harvey.
He's on pause.
McKernan kept it in, and there's all Collingwood players there. Lucuria, that was an interesting handball as well. Did it come off the boot? It did. Yep. So Brent Harvey sneaking in for another possession. Just racked up the lazy 17 so far. That was the shortest short kick you ever likely to see.
He's just come on, Daniel, as you mentioned before, getting ready to come on, and no one picked him up. And
let's have a look at whether or not this handball was a throw or not. You've got to have a closed fist when you hit the ball, of course. Well, that one is one. I was referring to the Kangaroos throw, but anyway, we'll get back to that.
It's a great kick. It's through for a goal, and it's through for the behind. I'm going to blame the Canberra crowd for that. I'm sure that was through for a goal by their reaction. It's a behind for Daniel Motlop.
Well, I'm with you, Hutto. I thought it was a goal too.
Important time for the Kangaroos to keep in touch, though. If the Magpies can get another couple of goals in a bucket stand with rain, their lead is going to magnify.
Well, it managed to move the ball a lot quicker on this occasion. Oh, Clement took a bounce. Crazy stuff. Did well to get the handball away, and he gets another chance. He's had a good game so far, Clement. He keeps on running, but doesn't get the ball back. Rocker into the middle, so maybe on the rebound they might be able to hurt. David King is pushing forward at centre-half forward if they can get the ball to him. Sinclair, King still running with Scotland over the top. He can go with a little short pass. Misses the target badly. Rocker fumbling. Oh, crunch went Byron Pickett. Well done, Prestigiacomo, received from Scotland. Took on Byron, who did well not to touch him then because he would have been reported.
Good rebound this from Collingwood. That was a certain goal to the Kangaroos, and they're in the position themselves to score.
But now the Kangaroos have got a chance. McLaren, McKernan, the Max combining. Oh, Burns, what a chase. Wasn't rewarded though. David King goes for a Nick Davis and doesn't get the same result. Missing away to the right.
As we have a look at the umpire or a signal a point, there's been a lot of people complaining that throws are becoming prevalent in the game, and that is one of the reasons why. It's a simple throw there. The umpire's close enough. They just got to ping these and stamp.
You don't think that was a tap, Jared?
No, it was a throw initially.
You reckon?
Yep.
Okay.
Essendon are magnificent at getting the ball on quickly, aren't they?
I think most of them are handballs, but when it's an open hand and you've thrown the ball up like that, it's just got to be penalised.
Pickett came from behind Scotland then, but the umpire says it's okay. Wakeland takes the mark. Buckley pushing up onto the wing, but Hilton gets onto him, so they didn't have that quick option out of defence. Now Clement's clear. If he just couldn't get it moving to him quickly enough, so he goes with a longer option up to the wing. Simpson putting the pressure on Tucky, who just hasn't been able to take a mark.
Too easy for the Kangaroo players then just to spoil and punch the ball out of bounds. Collingwood really need a little bit more direction. Jared, I think they're just playing the boundary lines too often.
Well, they've got Ben Kinnear about to come onto the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if Tucky got a rest. He's had a few opportunities and hasn't been able to impact.
Cochrane, Holland. Teague was the tackler and he ended up with the ball. He might have crunched, got one high there just for a split second, but the umpire deciding on a bounce. So we're getting closer to half-time here at Manuka Oval. 6-7 Collingwood, 5-6 the Kangaroos. Burton, Clayton. Prestigiacomo made the spoil. Motlop was hanging on to Clement. Maybe they were hanging on to each other. The umpire eventually played a whistle. It's going Kangaroos' way.
Daniel Motlop. James Clement had hold of his jumper for about 10 minutes.
I think you'll find that Motlop had hold of his jumper first. In fact, the free kick's gone to Simpson, so we're both wrong. Rocker didn't take the mark. Sinclair, Davis using Scotland. He hasn't really got an option on the way out. Now he might have one. Did well to maintain possession, but that's a good spoil from Tucky. No, the umpire disagrees. Free kick going to Hilton. And he's away quickly. He fancies himself from there. Goes long. Look at Byron Pickett. Look at Byron Pickett. Takes a strong grab. And once again, if Byron Pickett kicks this goal, we're going to be back to a one-point ball game. Dylan Freeborn, who's had 8 possessions and 4 marks for Collingwood. Byron Pickett, 6 possessions, 2 marks, and now, if he kicks this, 3 goals. And we'll get a great look at it from low down as Byron Pickett puts through the Kangaroos' 6th goal and his 3rd. pretty happy with it too.
Well, it was almost on display there, the changing face of footy. The ball comes into the goal square. We don't have big Tony Lockett or Doug Wade or Peter Hudson. We've got two small forwards fighting it out, and often the small forwards are better up off as forwards than they are as backmen. Nick Davis had very little idea what he was doing there. He was covering his man, didn't know where the footy was, and that probably cost him the goal, him not coming over the top.
Well, there's a bit on inside the Collingwood 50-metre area. Malloy, Fraser and Buckley for Collingwood. Archer.
Ball's been bounced and David King was still looking at the blue. He's ended up with the footy.
And he comes streaming through, pumps it in there quickly, gives Rocker a chance. He was in great position to mark that all the way. Read it beautifully. And well done, David King. And the Kangaroos will be in front. Although Sav has been known to miss the odd one from 20 metres out directly in front. He won't miss this one though, will he, Tony?
Well, these are his bread and butter. You know, he's a full forward. And
he won't miss this one, will he?
No, he won't miss this one. I will. The minute you give him a wrap, though, you know what happens. But very confident that Sav...
And so is he. Straight through the middle there in front.
Well, I was just watching down the other end of the ground, Hutto, and surely Glenn Archer is not stirring things up down there, is he?
Wouldn't be his go?
No, I wouldn't think so.
What was interesting was that the ball was bounced. David King was still looking at the scuffle. He turned around and the ball was coming straight at him.
He's obviously got up Nathan Buckley's goat here. I don't know what's going on between the two of them.
There's been a bit of byplay between these two teams over the years. David King certainly been involved in that. They gave young Josh Fraser a lot of treatment early last year. Verbal more than anything. 6-7 to 7-6. Collingwood with O'Brien back on the ground. Find themselves behind essentially for the first time for the day. They did creep in front, I think, late in the first quarter, but straight away Collingwood caught up. Here's King again, streaming forward. He's given them great run and dash. Wasn't the greatest of handballs, but McLaren could kick a goal from there. McLaren can kick a goal. Great running work by King and the Roos.
And that was probably the best passage of play we've seen from a centre bounce clearance all day, Jared.
Yeah, it was good stuff, wasn't
it? Great play from David King. It's great watching him in full flight. He gets the ball. He always takes off charges, has a bounce, and got the handball over there to McLaren. Not a good handball, but got the ball over to McLaren, and he was equal to the task. Screwed it round. 6-pointer for the Kangaroos.
Now they've really turned this around the last few minutes. The Kangaroos now have a handy little lead, and they're going to get a free kick out of the middle. Fraser just holding up Spider. Harvey. Possession number 20 and a half. Into Rocker again. Wakeland with his hands full at the moment. Just got the second one. Motlop. Clement with extra strength. Goes for the boundary line. And Rintoul makes sure it goes over.
Well, they've just lost their way a little bit here, the Magpies, and the Kangaroos' experience has come to the fore. They're better set up in the forward line, and they're getting better value for their entries.
Burton went over the back. Clayton. Mercuria. Wakeland. Kinnear trapped it beautifully. Had nowhere to go. Buckley. And now it's out. The umpire letting him get away with it. Buckley and Harvey having a bit to do with each other. Buckley's had 13 possessions for the day, but Brent Harvey, 14 kicks and 6 handballs. Burton, beautiful ruck work. Another possession for Harvey. Clayton gets them in. McCartney was charging through. O'Brien. Burns had to work hard to get clear. Did work hard and got clear, but he slipped as he kicked it. Holland with a run-up won't get there. McLaren has got options away in the middle of the ground. If he can just look up quickly. He wanted to give it off to Brent Harvey. Sets it up for Byron Pickett. They've got about 25 seconds here. A crucial stage of the game. The Kangaroos almost out to a 2-goal lead. They're trying to make it 3. Clement on Motlop did well to get it to the front. Prestigiacomo and the Pies get it over the line and out of bounds with only 9 seconds on the time clock as far as this first half is concerned. 8-6-54 to 6-7-43. Kicked the last 3, the Kangaroos. Five seconds to get the ball on the boot and through for it. Another goal. Can they do it? No. Siren just saving the Magpies there to some extent. So half-time, and it's 8-6-54 the Kangaroos to Collingwood 6-7-43, Tony.
Yeah, well, it's been a bit of a up and down sort of a game. Collingwood, I think, have had just as much use as what the Kangaroos have, but just haven't been able to convert their opportunities. At this stage, the Kangaroos hold an 11-point lead. You know, obviously when you do that, you do create a few more options than when you're just chipping around the boundary line. So they just need a little bit more direction, Collingwood.
Got Jared Malloy starting at full forward. Going back to their structure that has won them a lot of games this season.
So the second half underway from Manuka, with Anthony Rocker starting in the ruck and getting the first possession. But guess who it's gone to? A man who had 23 touches in the first half in Harvey Simpson, who's had 15, so he's been in amongst it as well. And the Roos working it down.
Make it 24.
Yeah, who's on him? Cochrane dragged to ground as he kicked it. Big Spider, again those skills at bootlace level, outstanding. Leon Davis got it through, so that's good play. Lacura, now lots on here for Collingwood.
Well, this
Fraser
should be a
just
goal.
gave it to the man who could run a bit quicker. Oh, Holland got into trouble, got out of it, got into trouble. And now Fraser should be able to kick the goal, and he does. And he's happy.
Well, a good bit of play there from Collingwood there. They turned the ball over, and Josh Fraser, we all know what a great talent he is, and he's finished off the good work from the Collingwood players upfield. Brodie Holland just got himself in a little bit of trouble, but good enough to get the handball back to Fraser, and he ran and kicked from 30 metres and made sure of it.
Who's on the bench for the Pies, Dipper?
I'll catch up with that one, mate.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Hate to see Dipper have to get off that chair.
No, he was looking very comfortable, wasn't he? Out of the middle, so Rocker still in the ruck as we mentioned. Lacura, good hands. And Collingwood look like they've got a bit of purpose suddenly. Out of the middle off the left boot, Scotland on the lead. Malloy, crunch. Well done, Teague. With Malloy bearing down to take a mark and get it moving. Oh, a bit of miscommunication there. They had the numbers in support. Cochrane. Simpson's got the run. Jukovic, Simpson, Rocker. Oh, fell over. He's lucky to get it free. Doesn't matter anyway because he played the advantage. Open square for Clayton. Just didn't quite have the confidence to go for goal initially. And then when he went, he just couldn't get the accuracy he wanted.
You believe the umpire paid that free kick?
No, ridiculous. Have another look.
Savage just clearly slipped.
Yep. Now McKernan can't keep it in.
Now, boys, I'll keep you up to date with the benches
Good
down
stuff.
here. And the Kangaroos, we've got Brady Rawlins, of course, who got hurt in that first quarter, but he's okay. Petrie hasn't really come on yet. Spall and also Shannon Motlop. And for Collingwood, O'Brien, Steinford, Tucky and Tyson Lane.
Thanks, Dip. Pies paid the free. Clayton. Burton pushing back, but he goes for the lead. I think it's Motlop coming out on the lead.
Gee, it was a good kick too, Jared, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Found its mark.
Daniel Motlop.
Got some talent, this kid and his brother. He's a bit more advanced, but they're two players that should have a big impact with the Kangaroos over the next few years.
Well, he was very good on the lead too, and the pass was equal to it.
Just a little away to the right.
Just pushing it off to the right, so just unfortunately didn't finish it off probably as good as he would have liked, but still a good entry into the forward 50 of the Kangaroos and a good lead from young Daniel Motlop. Unfortunately, only reached to the point.
Still got to get you to assess Richmond versus Essendon coming up this weekend, Tony.
That won't be a problem. Should be a great game, though, as should all the 4 games throughout next weekend. And we certainly look forward to a great final series.
You don't give the Tigers a chance?
No, I certainly give them a chance. I thought they played fantastic on Friday night. I just don't think Essendon played anywhere near up to what they could or should have. And I think they'll be with a week to think about it, Jared, I think they'll come out very hungry.
Yep.
Simpson, speaking of hungry, has been pretty hungry on Nathan Buckley during the day. The Pies, fairly labour intensive in that build-up. Still, they're working hard, but really not going for great options. And the Kangaroos emerging with the footy. And an open forward line, if they could just get it to McKernan. He kept it in all right, so well done. Rocker has a quick look in the review mirror and then kicks to the advantage of Pickett. Made it tough for him. And now Nick Davis, who's got some support through centre half back.
Good kick.
Burns got another little short option on. He wanted the run of Lacuria. Oh, had to be precise with the kick. That's a great spoil from Harvey. But Davis, better watch out from behind. Goes wide for Fraser in the Nick Davis pocket.
Yeah, he's got to get in quick. Get a one-on-one contest here with Malloy, but he's opted to go short to Lacuria. Still, I think, might be just a little bit outside his range here, Jared.
Yeah, I agree with that. Josh Fraser's becoming a bit dangerous, though. He's pushed forward twice now, and Spider Burton hasn't been able to go with him.
So Paul Lacuria, just as you said, out of his range.
Top of the square.
And no one there to jump on it.
We just see the better option would have been to go to the one-on-one contest with Malloy and Archer in the goal square.
And we're finding Kangaroo players everywhere, including over the boundary, but unfortunately he may have hurt himself badly, Corey McKernan, and that is one of the problems. We go to these grounds outside of the main stadia, the main areas where football's played, and the facilities are generally not up to standard. And there appears to be, what, 4 or 5 metres, I guess, Hutto, between the boundary line and the fence.
No, it does appear to be a fair gap, so you wouldn't think there'd be any problems, but he did push very wide for it. He's okay now. He did have a look at it. The umpire, the doctor had a look at it, I should say, not the umpire. Oh, Collingwood made a meal of that.
Oh, saved.
And desperate save on the line.
That's a couple of mistakes now the Kangaroos have made on the goal line. Sorry, the Pies have made on the goal line that could have cost them goals. I think it's 5 or 6 metres in front of us, Hutto, but just having a look over in that far forward pocket, it looks pretty skinny. And we've had problems, as we know, with Richo up in at the SCG before they altered the dimensions of the ground. They're going to have a very close look at that. 3 games being scheduled here for next year.
Jukovic through centre half back, gets it in quickly. That's what the Pies need. Malloy shoveled out of the road, but Tarrant, can he run onto it? Hasn't had a real impact in this game. Blakey's seen to that, and again the ball over the line and out of bounds, and Tarrant's not all that impressed.
Looked better though, didn't it? Space behind, running at your goal rather than away from the goal, and well, Blakey was just too quick to get away.
His total stats have been 3 handballs. Blakey's had 11 and 2 in terms of possessions.
Well, I'd like to see Tarrant operate out of the goal square. I'm with Jared. I think he plays much better footy closer to the goal.
Gee, Kinnear got some treatment from that. No free kick. Buckley also frustrated. I don't think he got the explanation he was after then, Nathan Buckley, from the umpire.
Pretty quiet day on Buckley's behalf too so far. He's had a few, but just not quite as effective as he normally is, Nathan Buckley.
Hasn't quite had the impact at this stage, but still time. Davis. Oh, outpointed that time by Sinclair. Cleverly, but he couldn't get the handball off it. Somehow he got it to McLaren. And now they can run out of the fence.
That's what I'm talking about, Hutto. Lack of desperation from the Magpies. They should never been able to get away from that, the Kangaroos.
Now Motlop versus Jukovic. Let's have a look at the pace and the skills of Daniel Motlop. Didn't get the bounce that he was after, or the run of the ball. And the Kangaroos still leading by 7.
Without being too harsh, it looked as if Nick Davis was going through the motions. Happy to get the ball when it's in his area. But Jess Sinclair just brushed off him.
Corey coming off, boys.
Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye on him.
And,
He's certainly limping off, Jared.
Yeah, he's in a bit of strife. There's no doubt about that. And even Ben Kinnear just allowing that tackle to be broken just is not good signs.
Good work from the ruck throw in from Sav, but again, he couldn't convert his opportunity.
And Corey's gone straight up into the races we see there on screen.
So the Kangaroos lost Brady Rawlings early, and now Corey McKernan off the ground.
Might get you to have a look at that boundary line and at the three-quarter time break. Dipper over there in front of the scoreboard.
No worries, Jared.
Might be a long walk for you, Dipper.
You could do with it.
Kinnear, good strong grab.
Good grab.
Showed some desperation there. 8-10 to 7-8 at Manuka Oval. Ben Kinnear going long. Sorry, Blake.
Free kick off the ball here with John Blakey and Nathan Buckley.
It's going to the Kangaroos.
Yeah. Nathan Buckley just seems to be getting sucked in, I think, by the Kangaroos' opponents.
Might cost them here because Rocker's strolling out to take an easy, uncontested mark.
Oh, they're incredible, these umpires, at times. You can only pay them if you see them, but if they have half a look at every boundary throw-in, Buckley is being stopped from going to the ball, and they apply far different rules to him when he's getting shepherded than they do if he's ever put one in a block on play.
Well, 8 points is the margin, so a pretty important kick coming up for Sav Rocker here. As we mentioned, he's kicked 1 goal, 1 so far today. Doesn't make the greatest contact with it. It's away to the right, but it sneaks back, not enough. And behind Brady Rawlings, who mentioned earlier, taken from the ground, as Dipper said, he is okay. 8-11-59 now to 7-8-50, the margin at 9 points. And the game delicately balanced, particularly as far as Collingwood is concerned. Clement kicks in well for Wakeland, who fumbled the mark and then made sure it went out of bounds. And then runs back to pick up Sav Rocker. Burton winning the tap. Prestigiacomo under pressure. Buckley. Clement a quick kick, a high one back to the wing. Kinnear worked his way under it with Hilton. Holland, Blakey, thump away to the run of King, and here they go building up another foray into attack. David King's got the fumbles now. He doesn't mind going in after it again. That time his disposal was pretty ordinary in amongst all that. And Prestigiacomo did well. Rintoul pumped the ball on to Malloy. He was really snookered in there against the boundary line, and eventually the ball is over and out. Tyson Lane. Be another one, I guess, who they'd be looking at.
I reckon they'd be wrapped with Brodie Holland's performance. He's given them an option up forward. He's kicked 3 goals. He's presented himself. He's been in and at it. And he's led the way as far as aggression at the footy. Here's a fellow they need to break this game open if they're to get back into it.
He spotted Freeborn, who pushed forward. He just hesitated for a moment, and then he lined them up and hit the post. Cruel luck. It's been the case for both teams today on occasions. The kicking a goal hasn't been all that good. 8-11 to 7-9. Again, this kicking to themselves have got him into trouble. Holland has had a good day in front of the goals. Well, it's not going to matter here because Anthony Rocker able to take the mark. He had Buckley as an option if he wanted to go for a little short pass. Now he's instructed by his captain to go back and have a shot. Be a big goal for the Pies. It would put them back within 2 points. Then it's certainly game on. They made a mess of that little kick to themselves about 3 times today, the Kangaroos.
It's a good rebound here from Collingwood. Brodie Holland once again involved.
Rocker, good contact. He's kicked the goal. There's 2 points in it.
All righto, Plugger, fire this one up a bit. The game's just lacking. It just needs a bit of spark. We need you to go onto the ball and pull something out.
Yeah, I don't think I'd last too long there, Jared, but good play there from Anthony Rocker there. It's always, you know, seeing players now on a tight angle like that, they're always opting to run around, and it gives a lot more percentage of kicking a goal. And he was very good in the way he done that then, Anthony Rocker. Very clever.
8-11 to 8-9 at Manuka Oval. Collingwood hitting back in this third quarter, not with great efficiency, but got back within 2 points. They'll be pleased with that. Fraser, Harvey. Good work. Keeping it alive, Kinnear. Mercurio initially ducking the head, but he got away with it. Burns pushes it wide for Nick Davis. Tarrant. Good time for him to come into the game. Is he within range? You'd say no by the way he kicks the ball into Rocker. And that's a mark. And so Collingwood will be in front. Well, you presume that Anthony Rocker will kick a goal from the goal
you would
square.
presume that. I think we're entitled to do that. But he got the ball in quick there, Tony, as you'd like it.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, he spun around quickly from the mark. Soon there was a one-on-one contest down in the goal square, and got the ball in quickly. And Anthony Rocker backed it up, took a good solid mark, and kicking his second goal, is it? This
Yes.
is his second goal in the last minute. So, and that'll put Collingwood back in front by 4 points.
And that's exactly what happens. He kicks it into Belconnen. That is a suburb of Canberra, isn't it?
I hope so. If it isn't, it is now.
Yeah, more closer to Fishwick, I think.
Well, it's been kicked out into the space just between Belconnen and Fishwick. And somebody's picked up a free Sharon. Got the ball out of the centre the last couple of times at the Magpies, and they've looked more dangerous in doing so.
So there's 4 points the difference here at Manuka Oval. 9-9-63. Collingwood in front. As we said, looked much better in this third quarter. Burton back on the ground after a spell off it. Fraser doing the ruck work. Oh, Clayton couldn't get clear, but the ball's inside 50. Burns.
And a couple of good minutes has Burns.
And Scotland, who's had a lot of the ball, comes in for his 19th possession. One-on-one, Davis and Teague. Davis, well done by Teague. He knew he had McLaren in support. Davis worked hard, waiting for his teammates to arrive. Malloy arrived, then had nowhere to go. Oh,
Here
crunch.
he goes again, the D9.
He did. Davis was going to go the handball. Instead, it's the kick. Tarrant fell over initially. Rocker.
Well done.
Well done.
Terrific.
And Ben Kinnear certainly within range and should kick the goal to get Collingwood further ahead.
Josh Fraser coming from the ground. He's got a blood nose. He's been given a nice old whack right in the proboscis. And he's been replaced by the youngster.
Young Tucky.
In Tucky. They've looked a better combination with Malloy up in that forward line and him leading out, Rocker or Tarrant pushing to the goal square.
Kinnear from 30 guides it straight through. Great corner by the Pies.
Yeah, they've got the ball in far quicker, Tony. It was what you were talking about in the half-time break, and it's a far better chance for a forward. Good,
yes.
Really good pressure, though, by Malloy to get it back.
It was. He works very hard, Malloy, and you put that goal down to a Jared Malloy effort, but amazing how much more productive it is when there's more room to work in.
Yep.
Forward's got a lot better chance of receiving the ball, and we've seen a few goals in the last few minutes.
Suddenly Collingwood lead by 10 at Manuka Oval.
Burns across that half-back line's been good for them.
Scotty Burns had 15 possessions.
He plays like a Hardwick for Essendon, doesn't he?
Yep.
Very similar players.
Tucky in the ruck. There's a new role for him. Pickett wrapped up. Could have been penalised, although maybe didn't have complete freedom for prior opportunity, but suddenly things are going Collingwood's way. Malloy was charging out. He creates the holes and the spaces, and they run into them. Kinnear, Leon Davis, important kick for Collingwood, and he makes no mistake. The Pies lead by 16.
Well, it was just a good take out of the middle. Tucky was competitive. The ball started to go the Kangaroos' way, but they rebounded it again. Buckley got his foot onto it. Good move by Ben Kinnear, who's had an excellent season for Collingwood. And Neon lit everybody up.
I think that, certainly as you said before, Jared, the difference is they've got a target to kick to now, which is Jared Malloy, and he's making a contest of everything that comes his way.
Interchange now. Tucky off. It's a good minute from Tucky. And Fraser back on.
And McCrory is back on the bench and looks like he'll be coming on very shortly, boys. Good news.
Clayton out of the middle. They might need him back there. Rintoul, Burton, Byron.
Dropped it.
He's going to get a free. He could kick it from there too. No, he's not going to have a shot. Sets it up. Burns again. Got in the road of a Motlop lead. And Scotty Burns going very short. Out to Licuria. He's another one who's had a reasonable day. Coming in for possession number 15. He's taken 6 marks. So often part of the little chipping around that Collingwood do.
And they've got to be careful here because McKernan has just rushed off the interchange. He wouldn't have seen that.
So he spoiled their switch on play. It maintained possession okay to get it to the wing. Scotland just running out of options.
Overusing it.
Going again, Freeborn.
Good
he
hands.
did well
Good
though.
hands. Davis to
really
goal.
opened it up. Davis, can he go all the way? Nick Davis, this would be even better than the last one. Oh, that time the bounce didn't go his way. Teague, Leon's just lurking. He's just lurking, Leon. And the ball out of bounds.
I reckon, Tony, you could learn something from that, Chris Tarrant. The ball was not a certainty for a goal. He had to make it.
No, if there's any doubt whatsoever, Jared, you've got to go for the ball. Unless it's clear cut that it's going to sail through and you just shepherd it through, if there's any doubt whatsoever, you go for the ball.
Enjoying more game time today, I think, too, Leon Davis.
And if you're a full forward, you go for it anyway, Jared.
Byron Pickett, he got some supply through, that time to McLaren, who glides away on the outer wing, getting the Kangaroos into attack. McKernan hit it hard.
Good
and he's pulled up sore again. You can see the pain he's in. We'll watch him limping back, looks like he's staying on the ground. McCartney. It's a big kick, right to the line. And that's a good strong mark when they needed it from Shane Clayton.
Well, he can take a grab overhead, but he really took an uncontested mark. He just took the front position. Well done to McKernan, who's obviously labouring with an injury of some sort. And was it Licuria who was behind him? And rather than coming over the top and punching, he looked as if he was going to take a mark. Nevertheless, Clayton goes back and kicks a goal.
Well, that is a very handy goal for the Plugger. It takes it back to a 10-point margin when Collingwood appeared to be getting away.
Yeah, look, Collingwood certainly have had the advantage of this quarter. They've played a lot better football. But that goal there from Clayton for the Kangaroos, a much-needed one this late in the quarter. They need to get another one before the three-quarter time break.
Well, there it was. Perfect camera shot. And Licuria will look at that and know that if in any doubt, you've got to come over the top, punch through the behinds, better than a goal.
So the margin stands at 10 at the moment at Manuka. O'Brien still on the bench for Collingwood. He spent a fair bit of the day there.
I was just going to ask Dipper, is there anything wrong with
No, not at all, boys.
Nothing at all?
He's running up and down the boundary line. And I've taken a walk around to the other side where we saw Corey go over that fence. It is the same distance, about 4 or 5 metres, but what it is, it's the fence height is only about, kneecap height, so no players have got any opportunity to put their hands forward to stop themselves.
Shane O'Brien's just been well tagged. He's only had 1 kick and 2 possessions. And
good pick up.
Had no effect on the game.
And Byron Pickett's having a bit of an effect on the game. Cochrane gets it in there quickly.
Good punch.
Yeah, great punch from Clement. They push forward to the goal square, the Kangaroos. Now they're all wrapped up.
I think it was Jess Sinclair that started on Shane O'Brien. So it was a pretty fair effort by him. And he's proving to his coach that he can do that role. O'Brien very tough to stop. He's just trailed off in the last third of the season.
One more lop off, one more lop on.
Pardon?
Jukovic must have been a bit concerned there for a minute with players coming from everywhere. Burns, good run out of defence. Rintoul gets it in there. Tarrant worked his way to the front. Blakey, Sinclair, well tackled. Malloy again having an impact. Sinclair persisted. Well tackled Holland. Very well tackled. Both sides desperate. Oh, Scotland. That was a pretty good job in the end. Holland whipped on to his right side. Tarrant just got enough leverage. He wings the ball back in, and it goes through for a goal.
Well, good effort from the Collingwood forwards just to keep fighting. There was a little bit of desperation we said was lacking before, Jared.
Yep.
But a lot of desperation there. Well fought out from the Collingwood forwards, and just released Chris Tarrant. And we all know what a great kick for goal he is, and he just launched that left footer. And another goal for Collingwood.
I think Holland has set the tone for their attack on the footy today. He's been a very good player for Collingwood. He's Scotland, of course, involved there. And there's that little bit of desperation that was really lacking, I think, for some time. Plugger, I'm not sure it's still right across the board, but they're playing much better footy now, Collingwood.
Yeah, they just seem to be a lot hungrier and a lot more desperate this quarter than they did the first half.
I think Scott Burns has led the way as well. His job on Byron Pickett since half-time has been superb.
There's a great shot a minute ago, didn't it? Showed how all the players lined up straight down the middle of the ground. McKernan couldn't trap it. McLaren, good smother. Rintoul, they're getting some run and some dash off half-back. Buckley, quick with the kick. Simpson was closing in on Freeborn. Kangaroos have pushed some numbers back. So no obvious option. Tarrant not moving, just got the arm up, ready to run in and go for a big grab. Now he leads in the general direction of centre half forward. Kick goes more for Rocker.
Oh, great mark.
Geez, had a great quarter. Well, Collingwood have had a great quarter, and Rocker's been part of it. He's coming in for his third.
Well, good strong grab, Jared, and that's what you like to see from your forwards. Good pack mark, and that's the marks we know Anthony Rocker can take amongst Kangaroos players there, but gee, good strong hands, and he's going to go back and line up for his third.
Take us through his technique on this one, Tony.
He obviously takes a lot of time, which is good to see. Always, you know, one thing that, you know, when you look at it as a forward is players rushing. And, mate, when you've got the ball like this, you're in control of the game. Go back, get your breath, take your time, and concentrate. Look ahead at what you've got to do. Keep it simple.
And kick a goal.
That's exactly what he's done.
Well, that is a big goal for Collingwood. The margin 22, I'd say the greatest of the whole day. And with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter, Kangaroos have got to get a move on.
It was a big mark and goal from Anthony. He's had a couple of fair games in the second half of the season. A couple of fair games in the first half of the season. In fact, he's had a fair season, Hutto.
He has.
Glad you agree. One more goal to Collingwood, and they're going to go in at three-quarter time with a pretty fair lead to take something out of the box from the Kangaroos to get over the line. They've been much better at centre bounces in this term. Let's see what happens now.
13-9 plays 9-11. Burton that time. Fraser competitive. They're going to get a secondary bounce. So a fair bit of congestion around the ball, as you'd expect in this situation. Burns coming over the top, was looking for Jukovic, got his man initially. Now Rintoul. Oh, he handballed before he knew what he was doing then. He did have some pressure from behind. Suddenly the Pies going.
He does that extremely well, James Clement. Just edges his player up underneath the ball, then drops back, takes a mark. Spider off the ground, Dipper.
Yeah, and Maype's coming on, Plugger.
So it changes the mix a fair bit for the Kangaroos. King and Leon Davis, Malloy, Kinnear, and the ball is out of bounds.
Well, the interesting move is Corey McKernan going onto Anthony Rocco in the goal square. Let's just see who goes in the ruck. Maybe Sav Rocco's in the ruck now.
Some of the big playmakers, Jared, who've got so many possessions in the day, King and Harvey have had a lot less of it in this quarter.
Well, Harvey's still got 5. That's reasonable.
But King's, he had 13 in the second and 10 in the first.
Yeah, King's dropped right off. He's just had the 2 kicks. And, well, a number of other players have gone. Shane Clayton's had a good quarter for them.
Gee, the umpire showed great pace then. Oh, Buckley just wasn't quite at the ball. Rocker, who I guess is doing the ruck work now with Burton off the ground. Or did Petrie come on? I didn't see him. Harvey got some shepherding. Comes in for his 6th possession of the day. If he ever takes it, it'll be a great one if he can kick the goal. What a run from Brent Harvey. He's got his eye on the square. And a clever kick. A clever kick. And Jess Sinclair pops it over the top. And Byron Pickett can be the one to have a shot for goal. Not sure if the kick from Sinclair was all that good, actually, because he's got a little bit of an angle here, Byron.
Yeah, a few of the Kangaroos players have run the length of the field to have a chat to the Collingwood skipper. He should be in politics, David King. He's always got something to offer.
Yes. 3 goals for Byron Pickett, as you saw. Another poster. What mistake did he make then with that kick, Tony?
Well, he missed it. To put it quite simple.
Hit the post.
That
I did ask for it, didn't I?
I would have thought you summed it up perfectly, Tony.
Well, look, you know, I know it happens, but really there is no excuse. And you know, the Kangaroos desperate for a goal on that situation. Concentration is the only thing I can put that down to, Hutto.
Makepeace. So they get another chance here. They've got about 90 seconds to try and produce a goal. Collingwood players fighting with each other. Rintoul won the battle then and just told to steady things down. They know that it's getting late in the quarter, 30 minutes on the clock and a minute and a half remaining. So they'll be very happy just to kill the clock.
Scotland's just ducked out the back. He's going to come up with a possession. It's one of the more important possessions in footy these days, getting someone to be able to cross the ball to the other side of the ground.
Kinnear. Well, they're going to have time here, Collingwood, to get a scoring chance. If Tarrant can get up and take this, just couldn't pull it down, so it means that Blakey can get the Kangaroos going. Johnny Blakey whipping through the wing onto Byron Pickett. Missed the last one. Well, I thought he might crank it up and really go for it.
Play on, son. Play
but he
on.
went to spoil.
It was a dud decision on this boundary line. The handball should have gone over to Jukovic. But they expected Chris Tarrant to take mark of the year just to keep the ball in play.
And this is a big kick for the Kangaroos, and Spall has missed it. Fraser on the line, just ensuring that it goes through. And so you wouldn't think the Kangaroos will have time to score another goal unless they turn it over from the kick in. We saw what happened last night, though, with Hawthorn and St Kilda. How quickly a goal can be achieved from a kick in. But Clement needs to find a target here, with Collingwood leading by 20 points at three-quarter time. And he's done that okay. I'm sure Lucuria will be in no rush. He's had a good day, 18 possessions and 8 marks for Paul Lucuria. Out wide for Clement. He also just tried to hold play up. And that'll be rewarded when the siren sounds in just a moment. So three-quarter time, an excellent quarter for Collingwood coming from behind at half-time. Front by 20 at three-quarter time.
Three-quarter time. Marty Garone, we've got to tell you, Collingwood 13-9-87, a big run on them.
It's going to be an interesting last quarter. The Kangaroos, can they muster up enough spirit to challenge Collingwood? Collingwood did everything that needed to be done until the last few minutes, but the Kangaroos weren't good enough to put them on the board, and they're going to take a 20-point deficit into the break.
This game, but I just reckon now that they got the smell of it, and away they go. Buckley in for a big last quarter. The coach asked him, well, he's been down. Simpson's really been on top of him. I don't think Bucks has really pushed himself as hard as he normally does. I just reckon he'll just go this last quarter.
Last quarter then from Monica underway. Collingwood taking a 20-point advantage in. Buckley and Lucuria. Holland, Malloy from behind. Holland, was that high? No. Oh, look at Malloy, charged through. He's got another chance here, Brodie Holland. Great smother from Archer, doing the hard things. King, he's going the wrong way, but he got clear. Around the body, straight for Davis. Now we know he's within range. It's a big kick for Collingwood. It's a big kick, and it's coming back. Astounding kick, it's a goal.
Harvey's in trouble, boys.
And there's Brent Harvey.
He got one right on the hip pointer. That is one of the sorest spots to get it, right on the top of the hip. But that's a magnificent goal from Nick Davis. He started it just on the left-hand goalpost. They've all been drifting slightly to the right. He picked it magnificently.
Great composure for a young bloke, hasn't he, Jared?
In front of goal, there are very few better. Let's have a look at Holland. I was wondering why there wasn't a free kick there.
Yeah, well,
still wondering.
Could have easily been paid. Anyway, they got their just rewards, and Nick Davis finishes off with a fantastic goal.
So the Kangaroos looking down the barrel now, need to try and respond. Harvey seemed to have recovered remarkably well. He just has an insatiable appetite for the footy. Rocker, Prestigiacomo, Buckley, Pickett might have got him high. He was ducking a bit, I guess. And Burns again involved. Buckley trying to keep his feet. He lost his footing eventually. Motlop going out before they go in. Simpson set it up. I'm not sure what he had in mind.
Nick Davis coming off and Tyson Lane replacing him.
He's got to have an injury, Dipper. Just check it out. He's with the club doctor.
Yeah, he's going straight up into the rooms. Doesn't look serious, but we'll have a check on it.
Chad Rintoul carrying it for the Pies. A couple of bounces, sets it up. Tarrant is looking likely, but from behind, Kinnear.
He's paying it too.
He's paying the man behind.
A great standing leap from Kinnear. And one would have to think, Jared, if he kicks this, she's nearly all over.
Yep. I think he had first purchase on it. He's an impressive player, Kinnear. He's just worked and worked and slowly improving his game. He's becoming a fine senior player.
It's a good leap, isn't it?
He's one of those in-between sizes, isn't he? I guess who can play a role, as we've seen, as a around-the-grounds ruckman, or as a key position, or even as a running player. Now he needs to kick the goal and make it extremely difficult for the Kangaroos, and he's put it through.
Well, it's going to be pretty tough now. And Ben Kinnear, I think anybody that tipped or backed Collingwood would probably be pretty happy.
Well, they wouldn't have been too happy up to half-time, Jared, but certainly after the half-time break, with a few choice words, I guess, from Mick Malthouse, they've come out with all guns blazing and certainly played a lot better brand of footy in the second half.
Bit of a dispirited lot at the moment, the Kangaroos. Certainly looking at the scoreboard wouldn't help matters. 15-9 to 9-13.
Now, she's a pretty tough business, Hutto, for the Kangaroos to get up, I reckon. They did a pretty good job, but after the events of the week with Shannon Grant and Corey Jones, it must have been tough for the players and the coach to focus on this match as they needed to.
Oh, Buckley lets Motlop in.
He's just having a bad day, is Nathan Buckley.
Yeah, we've seen Nathan Buckley play a lot of footy, but I don't think I've seen him make as many easy mistakes as that one. You just don't expect a player of Nathan Buckley's ilk to make such a simple mistake like that, do you?
No, when I say a bad day, that's in context. That's for Buckley.
Burton, Rocker, Clement, and Harvey couldn't keep it in. So 15-9, 99 Collingwood. Kangaroos 9-13-67. I think it's the first time they will have been beaten up here at Manuka. If they do get beaten, the Kangaroos, maybe there's still a chance. They need to try and be creative here and put a few goals through.
I don't think I see the replay there, but Buckley's having one of those days. He just ran over the ball. He wanted to tunnel the ball, nearly fell over.
What about the first week of the finals, Plugger? How do you see it?
Oh, look, some great games of footy. You know, as we talked earlier on with Essendon Richmond, should be a great rematch. I think the Brisbane Port Adelaide game up the Gabba will be a great game, and I'm certainly looking forward to the Sydney Hawthorn game. I think all four matches for the round should be a great first round for the whole final series. Really looking forward to it.
You sound like you're still pretty confident Essendon's the team.
I'm very confident Essendon's the team. Yeah, I can't see them getting beaten, Jared. Simple as that. They've only got to play anywhere near their maximum ability, and I think they'll win and win it well.
David King coming in for possession number 17, looking for his first for the day. He starts it right and swings it back beautifully. They've worked out the angles here. It's a good goal. Just keeps them within touch.
Yeah, it was a good one. A little bit too late, perhaps. Although I mean, it's not without some sort of slim chance that the Kangaroos could kick a couple of quick ones and be back in with a hunt.
So it does give them some hope, the Kangaroos, at 10-14 against 15-9.
It's about this deficit that the Saints were down about the 8-minute mark in the last quarter last night, Hunter. 23 points, I think it was.
That is a very high kick from David King. I felt sorry for Burns, camped underneath it, no free kick. Motlop coming through, so suddenly a bit of run and a bit of dash for the Kangaroos. And Clayton it was, skipping and dancing his way around 50. But the kick is marked by Clement.
And Byron Pickett, filthy. Absolutely dirty. He was 5 metres in front, and it was his man that ducked back and took the mark.
Clayton over the top. Prestigiacomo, Sinclair. Presti left it behind.
Just want to be careful here, Plugger, that Collingwood don't start to just play out time, because there's still plenty of...
there's plenty of time, as you said, Jared, earlier on. I mean, sides can come back from margins. You know, this is certainly not... the game's certainly not over yet. But having said that, if Collingwood continue the amount of pressure that they did in the third quarter, well, they should win.
Blakey in front.
They've got half a dozen blokes going through the motions, and I reckon Collingwood's been carried by half a dozen blokes.
Jukovic worked his way to the front well on that occasion. Sinclair. Jukovic, and the ball inevitably over the boundary line. Byron Pickett's kicked 3 for the Kangaroos, 2 to Joe McLaren, singles to Burton, Clayton, Rocker, King and Makepeace. And for the Pies, 3 goals to Anthony Rocker and Brodie Holland, 2 to Leon Davis, 2 to Ben Kinnear and Nick Davis, and singles to Burns, Tarrant and Fraser. The Pies going somewhat aimlessly into attack. Good tackling on Archer, and Freeborn sees it over and out.
Hutto, after the replay, Sandy Roberts is going to have all the official ground nominations.
Yes, around Australia on 7, you'll be able to find out in some way, shape or form later on this afternoon where everyone will be playing and when. Buckley. Good work from Kinnear. Kangaroo defence being made to work overtime. And Brett Harvey taking it across the line. He has dropped off a bit in terms of just sheer numbers. 29 possessions for the day, Harvey, after a brilliant first half.
He did cover a lot of ground, though, in that first half of footy, didn't he? And he's an extraordinarily fit young man, and he's, you know, his input has been terrific today, even though he has dropped off a little bit.
He's had no possessions in the last quarter after 6 in the third. Mercuria with the mark. Scotty Burns, still too far at the score.
They worked well together, Lucuria and Burns today.
Fraser the target. Good spoil from Simpson, didn't infringe. And they'll get a bounce out of it. The Kangaroos in this last quarter have had quite a lot of players who have not had a possession. I know it's only been going 10 minutes, but they've had a lot of players who haven't had a touch so far.
10.
Count quicker than I can, Jared. Burton. I don't know whether he used the old Ron Barassi method of counting those that haven't or those that did.
Well, there's 8 that have had possessions.
Yeah, so you just did the math.
And I suspect that may be incorrect, because they've had a few, I gather they've had a couple of interchanges.
Fraser getting it down. Here's David King, try and get the legs pumping, and the Kangaroos pumping. They need something to pump. At the moment, it's all going Collingwood's way. Scotland, still they're too far at the score. Rintoul hesitated, then went long to the square. Tarrant scored, got taken out.
Kick.
Must have been a free. No, it's going the Kangaroos' way. It's going to Archer. And 50 metres, I suspect, for a bit of language from Chris Tarrant.
Well, I reckon he's probably right.
Yeah.
Chris Tarrant's obviously been infringed upon, but Archer there must have been a secondary infringement as well.
Here's another look at it. A bit hard to tell. Body's going everywhere. Suddenly the Kangaroos are in attack though. Here's Hilton and Kinnear. Hilton worked very hard. Well trapped, and Clement the boundary line.
Well, it's fair to say this won't go down as one of the great games of the season, Anthony.
Which Anthony's that?
Well, take your pick.
Yeah, look, it's well, it's just been a hard day at the office for both sides, I suppose. But you know, Collingwood started off a little bit slowly, but certainly played terrific footy in the third quarter. But they seem to have dropped it off a little bit in this last quarter again. You'd just like to see them finish the game off now and finish their year off.
They're looking for the finishing line. There's no doubt about that.
Fraser, Holland, Rintoul, got no one inside, so he drives for Malloy. Archer and Malloy, it's a great matchup, isn't it?
Yep.
Malloy looks like he's struggling a bit, he's limping at the moment. That's a good kick, it opens it up a bit for the Kangaroos. Sinclair and Sinclair. McLaren, initial fumble, but he can kick a goal from there, and from 40 metres out, he kicks a lovely point. Terrific behind for Joe McLaren. They needed goals though, the Kangaroos. That's 10-15. They've kicked an extra goal in behind, so that makes sense. So 15-9 to 10-15, and the margin is 4 even goals at this stage. And we're
still 12 minutes to play. Nobody was really prepared to put some pressure on, a bit of a token gesture pressure. Game could still be won by either side, but the Kangaroos have got to kick a goal to get some scoreboard pressure happening on the Magpies.
Just found his man that time. Wanted 50 Rintoul, but
Magpies charging in.
Oh, he is giving him 50. Fairly short 50, but anyway, he'll take it. And look at Burns, all on his own. Well, he could have run on. He just, well, he still was able to get clear and kick it along to the square. Collingwood claiming a goal. I think it might be one. I think it's a goal. It is. And with it, perhaps goes the game.
Hit the siren. Send the mercy rule in. Put us all out of the misery. That must have ricocheted off Anthony's boot by the looks.
Get another look at this, see if we can work out what happened. I think it might have been Anthony Rocker. Or Malloy. No, it was Rocker apparently. 16-9 to 10-15.
Archer push forward, boys.
30 points the difference. Free kick going Collingwood's way. Lacuria, Holland, and Jukovic as an outlet, but he goes instead for Malloy. Oh, he's going to get a free kick out of that. Advantage. Leon says yes. And Collingwood are home now. If they weren't already.
Well, he's been terrific, Malloy, since he's gone up forward. Jared, he's provided a contest. Yep. He's given something to kick to, and that's what the small men in the Collingwood forward line have been looking for. Someone there to stand up and bring the ball to the ground, which is what's happened in this second half of footy, and Leon Davis just capitalised on that one. The advantage rule was played, and he ran virtually into an open goal and another 6-pointer, and I think that has virtually sealed the fate now.
I think that's a certainty. But it's amazing that Spall was on Malloy, or Malloy was on Spall. in the Kangaroos forward line to start the match, and they've finished up the same pair but in the Collingwood forward line.
So 17-9 against 10-15. And the Pies would be very pleased with their contribution across the board of some of their medium-range players. Mercuria, 26 possessions. Scotty Burns, 21 possessions and 8 marks. Glenn Freeborn, 17 possessions. Brodie Holland, 20 possessions. Anthony Rocker, 16. Heath Scotland, 24.
James Clement's been one of their best players today, Hutter.
Yep, 26 possessions and 10 marks. And a lot of them have been saving marks in defence. So the Roos trying to get a couple of late goals to spark a bit of a revival. McLaren overwhelmed by numbers, but somehow he got loose. And then he didn't take as much time as he eventually had. He did all the hard work, but missed the shot at goal. 10-16, not a great look on the scoreboard for the Kangaroos. Nathan Buckley's day, 20 possessions, 2 marks, 2 tackles, and just the one behind. Collingwood are going to end the year with 11 wins and 11 losses, so an improvement on their 7 from last year. Scotland going backwards. Rocker kicked for Tarrant. It really only had an impact on the game in that for that brief period in the third quarter. But it was a decisive period. He kicked a goal and led out around half forward, which led to a couple of others.
Carl Steinford coming on for Malloy. Malloy's had a terrific year for Collingwood and he should be congratulated. He stepped up, took the challenge, and he became a real workhorse for the Magpies. Statistically often didn't reflect how much of an important player he was, but he has really given them a focal point.
Good lead from Fraser.
Once again, Anthony, it's Scotty Burns, who's been missing the last couple of years, obviously bad hamstrings, but he's just so hard the ball, as Plugger mentioned before. He just gives his all.
So here comes big Josh Fraser's kicked the 1 goal straight so far today. 20 goals for the year going in. And he barely made the distance and missed away to the right. So the game just petering out a little bit at the moment here at Canberra. 17-10 to 10-16. Certainly the sting out of it, you would think, as far as the Kangaroos are concerned. They try and get some movement going now. David King on the wing. Low kick in for Byron Pickett. Yes, he just took it above the ground. Gets it in there quickly, gives Rocker a chance. Jurkovic helped out for the Pies. Scotland, Jurkovic again. He's got Rocker on side. Have to bend down. It's Rocker versus Rocker out there. And Rocker wins out. Burns was always likely, I guess, wasn't it? Mercuria, cross half back. Now Nick Davis. Sinclair trying to hold him in. Fraser again providing an option. McCartney. Couple of weary bodies there going after it. Here's Leon. He wants to take them on. In the end, he got blocked against the line. Tarrant did well with the handball. Burns off the right boot. No. Ooh, Teague. Oh, that's a great mark with the behind post. Lurking. If a behind post can lurk. It's been a bit of a long day. Out wide, the mark taken by McLaren. Up to centre half forward. Rocker versus Wakeland this time. At the back is Anthony, winning out again. Jurkovic switching play. Nick Davis, he's enjoyed the time out here on the wing and half forward. He loves it. Got Mercuria on. He has made a bit of a mess of it, but eventually he got it and then kicked it to Scotty Burns. Oh. He got a shocking bounce. Goes with the one from earlier in the day. I think that was Preston Giacomo that time. Spall. Good kick. Archer's gone forward fairly late in the day.
Well, he has had a very good year, Glenn Archer. Underrated by many this year. Been one of the Kangaroos' finest. I think along with Shannon Grant, Brent Harvey will be pushing up for their best and fairest. David King in that mix as well.
Glenn Archer right on the 50. We've seen goals from here kicked all day, starting it at the right-hand goal post, then swinging it back through.
Fine set of sunglasses too on the goal umpire. This ball just poking it in. It was a good mark from Archer. There it is, eyes and hands directly in front of the face. You know what I mean?
Anthony Rocker sits down. He'd be well satisfied with his performance, particularly since half-time. He's had 19 kicks, 6 marks, kicked 4 goals, 1. Out of the centre, Burton to Harvey. The handball almost run down, not quite. Cochrane enjoying some time in the middle, and Hilton gets the ball inside 50. Archer trying to bustle his way through. Jukovic, who's had a few handy touches too since he's gone into the back line. He's not out yet. Now it is. Or is it going to be a bounce? I think it might be a bounce. What do you think the future holds for these two clubs, Tony?
Well, look, it's I guess the Kangaroos, you know, there always been a struggle in Melbourne. The supporter base is not quite what it, you know, we'd like to see it, and you know, having to come up here and play games, which is great for the country people. But you know, it's just, it looks like it's going to be a very hard future for the Kangaroos. As far as Collingwood are concerned, well, they'll always survive. They've got a great number of members and supporters, and it's just a matter of getting a successful team back on the paddock for Collingwood.
Yes, they look like there's some way towards doing that. It's been an encouraging performance today. Cochrane, well tackled. Buckley, and now they're away again. Scotty Burns, we've mentioned it. He's having a good game again, particularly since half-time. And Brodie Holland's worked hard for 4 quarters. 20 possessions, 3 goals, 2. Here's Burns again. Gets it moving. Kinnear. He's well inside 50. And he's kicked another one. No, he hasn't. And the behind conceded in the end. He really probably should have done better then. He was well inside 50. Curia, another one sitting down. 28 possessions and 10 marks for Paul Licuria.
Let's just have a look and see what happens to Chris Tarrant here, if anything at all. Would have thought he was taken out of the play. What do you think, Helen?
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more.
I think so.
No doubt about that. Buckley, Scotland, Fraser, getting clear. Kinnear. He's got Steinford about 20 out. He goes instead for Tarrant. Tarrant, good positive lead. He's quite wide, and that's why he swings around quickly. He fancies his chances from there. Tyson Lane, not quite.
And Tarrant gives me the impression that he's just a lot better player when he's moving around. Jared, when he's on the lead and attacking the ball, just seems to be a lot more complete.
Yep.
When he's on the burst and using his abundance of speed.
King kicking to himself and then going for the short one. Sinclair, they're going very wide here, the Kangaroos. Got McCartney on over the top. Doesn't use him instead. Blakey deciding to go for a run. Just got themselves into a little bit of a corner here. Harvey having to go wide. It certainly favours Josh Fraser. It wasn't good decision-making, as it turns out, by the Kangaroos.
You can make 10 blokes to pick from here.
Chooses Nick Davis.
Torpedo time.
No. Fraser. Now, he's got a bit of space in front of him. He can launch into this one. Have a crack at them, Josh. No, he doesn't. Too disciplined. Sets it up. Kinnear working his way to the front. Couldn't hang on to it. Somehow Buckley got that out. Steinford, Tarrant around the corner. And Johnny Blakey in the goal square. Well, we talk about the veterans and whether or not they'll go on next year. No one ever seems to ask a question about Johnny Blakey. He's just impeccably fit and still so productive for his club.
He's been quite a unique player, John Blakey. Second eldest player in the competition.
Sinclair left it all behind. McLaren, Clayton. Oh. Can't keep the ball out of Scotty Burns' hands. Steinford. Byron coming from behind. Burns has had 10 possessions and 7 marks in this quarter alone. Anthony Rocker, we mentioned, has also had a good second half with 8 kicks, 3 handballs, and most importantly 4 goals. Tucky back in the mix now.
Barry Hall a chance to get to Sydney, do you think, Tony?
Oh, that's out of my hands, Jared. I can't really comment on that one. It's
mail in Melbourne was he was up chatting to you the last week.
Yeah. Where do you get your mail from, Jared?
Read it in the Herald Sun.
Well, you don't believe everything you read or you hear.
So you didn't talk to him, Black?
I didn't say that.
Why did you get my mail from the postie?
And that was well handled by Tarrant. Handled it just about as well as you handled the question, Plugger, beautifully.
And you're still no wiser, are you?
Got a fair idea. How much did you advise him to ask for? Tarrant has kicked the goal, yes.
Two minutes and 33 seconds left remaining in the season for these two sides, and it was a good finish by the Pies. Carl Steinford hasn't had much game time today, but when he's got out there, he's looked after Christopher Tarrant.
Will be permitted onto the playing arena, but not until the second siren is sounded. The conclusion of today's play. Patrons must wait until after the second siren for entering the arena.
There's 2.5 minutes remaining in the home and away season, and indeed in the season for Collingwood and the Kangaroos. And certainly Collingwood finishing in much more promising fashion as far as the future is concerned. Leading by 38 now. Sinclair throwing his body around. The umpire penalised him for it. Coming in, obviously it was too high.
And it's the sort of thing that would, I mean, Dennis Pagan would rightly go home, sit Shannon Grant down and say, senior players do what he has done. Signals to everybody else that the season's over, that there's nothing to play for. And they come up here to Canberra and put in a pretty poor performance in front of a crowd that they are trying to build support from.
Knowing Shannon, Jared, in his defence, I mean, it's we all make mistakes, and look, Shannon, I'm sure, would be the first to admit that he's made a mistake and that he's let all his club and his teammates down. He's just got to learn from that and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Great kick from Buckley. Finishing off the day, showing the skills we know he possesses. And this is Chris Tarrant. I wonder if he could have a shot from here. He doesn't look like he wants to. It's a funny old kick.
He tried a barrel, didn't he?
Wasn't very convincing. McCartney taking the mark. 100 seconds left in their season. Harvey, close to 100 possessions. 21 and make that 22 kicks and 11 handballs. Teague. Can Sinclair finish off with a goal? You'd think certainly so. Couple of bounces. Surely he'll kick the goal.
Missed.
Don't call me surely. He's missed. 11-17, 83 to 18-12, 120. And there is the man we've been talking about.
He's had a great year, and that's what's been disappointing. He will, I would suspect, win the Kangaroos best and fairest, but he's finished his year off just in a disappointing fashion. But there was no need for a grubber kick, that one, Plugger.
No, you see time and time again players opting for these kicks along the ground. I don't know whether the theory is that they think they're more accurate or not, but I would much prefer to see players just using the normal drop punt. I think it'd be a lot more accurate.
Yep.
And I think when you drill along the ground, you're leaving things open for chance.
Good duck.
And then a good tackle. The duck was good, but the weave perhaps wasn't.
Yeah, left a bit to be desired, the weave. He's a bit stiff though, Daniel. Who's Daniel? No, it's Shannon.
Shannon. Heath Scotland. 40 seconds remaining. Clement. Go for home. Fraser, who's really presented himself well this afternoon when he's played up forward. Steinford. Holland. Still he goes, inside 50. Brodie Holland to finish off a great day with a terrific pass. And he's done it nicely. And Tarrant played on, but the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. He goes for a pass, which wasn't too good, but he's going to come back. Siren's going to sound. No, the umpire has blown time off. So he'll go back and have the set shot. You know what's likely to happen here? He's likely to run around and the siren will sound.
Well, he's got 4 seconds to go.
Just got it in before the siren, and the ball goes through as Chris Tarrant finishes the year in the best possible way, kicking a goal and ending Collingwood's season with his third. (19-12 to 11-17). And so Collingwood end the year with 11 wins. Let's get down to Dipper.
Yeah, good on you, Anthony. Well, 11 wins, mate, but a terrific finish for the season. And also, you must be pleased with their own efforts this year. It's been a long year.
Yeah, it's been a long year, and good to finish off on a good note, and gives us a bit of a, I suppose, a load into next year. And yeah, we're disappointed not making the finals, and I've been disappointed over the last 3 weeks with my form, but on a whole, I've been pretty happy.
Just tell us about your year at Collingwood.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I've loved it. Everyone's been great to me. Worked pretty hard, and I got some good results.
And where is the club at the moment? We talked about the young players coming through. We saw Tarrant as one of those stars who sort of dropped off throughout the season. Yeah,
they probably got tired towards the end of the year, but another year under their belt makes it easier next year. Gives another pre-season, which gives them more fitness, more strength. So I'm looking forward to watching them next year.
Well, thanks for talking to us, mate. You've been a credit to yourself and to the Collingwood Football Club, and we'll see you around the traps.
Thanks a lot, Tigger. Thanks a lot.
Well done, Jared. Well done to Dipper.
And isn't it amazing that Robert Di played on a wing? Just having a look at the size comparison between him and Jared.
Thanks for your work today, Plugger.
Good on you, mate.
We'll see you soon. We look forward to the finals next week. 19-12 to 11-17. The Pies have won in the nation's capital. Win by Collingwood. They got home in the end fairly comfortably. 19-12, 126 to 11-17, 83. 4 goals kicked by Anthony Rocker and 3 goals to Holland and Tarrant. The Kangaroos, Byron Pickett kicked 3, 11-17, 83.